Hello friends, it's Stamp Ventures with Shauna, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, Canada. Welcome to my Tuesday tutorial, my first one in just a few weeks here. I've been away for a bit. My husband and I had a really nice trip to Europe, and we got back to our home yesterday, got back to Canada a couple days before that. And hopefully I'm not going to yawn too many times when I do this video tonight because I'm just, still getting used to this new time zone here. And I also was getting really used to the holiday vacation lifestyle. So I think I may need some professional help. A chef and a butler and a maid, that should do it. Yep. I don't have a weather report for you today because I'm not that organized. But I have some cards here, birthday cards that I received in the mail that I could share with you. So I'm just trying to link up here to my iPad. There we go. Found it. Oh, I thought I had turned that on to silent, onto mute. I guess I hadn't. There, now it's mute and we should be ready to go. Give a shout if you happen to be watching. Say hello. And let us know where you're watching from. Give me a weather report since I didn't have one for you. Let me know what the weather's like where you are at. Sounds like we're going to be getting another snowstorm here, so winter's not quite done with us here yet. So yeah, as I mentioned, I don't have a weather report for you, but I came home and we emptied out the mailbox, which was quite full, and there were some cards in there, so I thought I would share them with you. And this first one is from my Stampin' friend, Diane Inkster, and Diane has used some paper and dies and stamps that are from an online exclusive offering. And those are items that can only be found on the online store through Stampin' Up! Or through my website as well. And I just love this paper, and that's inspired me to work with this paper today. So the project that I'm going to be doing today is going to be using some of this paper, and I keep calling it this paper because I can't remember what the name of it is. It's Hello Irresistible 6x6 designer paper. And when Stampin' Up! First brought this out as an online exclusive, it was so popular, because it is very pretty, that it sold out quite quickly. And just recently it's become available again, and it is orderable. If you were wanting some of this paper or any of the items that are on the clearance rack or the last chance list, I am putting in an order just after midnight tonight, because starting at midnight it's going to be 24 hours of free shipping, and I'm putting in the order right away because I know some of the discounted items, people will be snapping those up with the free shipping. And also I want to stock up on a few things because when the new catalog starts in May, we have a brand new annual catalog. There'll be a few price increases in some of the basic items like, cardstock and envelopes and some of the adhesives. So I'm going to stock up now just to get them while they're a little bit better priced. So yeah, I'll be using this paper today, and thank you so much, Diane, for the beautiful birthday card. I love these frosted dots. I can't remember exactly what they're called, and I think they might have even completely sold out of those. They sure are pretty and are a nice touch to that card. The next birthday card here I received from Tracy Stewart, and it's this cute little fox. And a lot of the trees, and then she's used some strips of designer paper that she's just kind of placed on the card in a back and forth sort of way, not perfectly aligned. I like that, it's just a little bit here and a little bit there. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight on the card. And there's her little note. Have a fantastic year. And I like how she also did the little tail of the fox on the inside. So thank you, Tracy. That's so cute. And this piece here that she's stamped on and put the focal point is one of the tailored tags. And I got this card from Karen, and isn't that super duper cute? This, I believe, is from the Paper Pumpkin kit, and I can't remember which one. It was a fairly recent one. Just adorable. Rainbows and sunshine and a little spring duck, and you brighten my day. So so sweet. Thank you so much, Karen. This is a really neat idea for a card, and now that we have some oval dies again, could easily use that idea with a lot of other stamps that might happen to have. You could have clouds or flowers or other things popping up here, and a sun, or yeah, I don't know. Just you could have different things around, and then a little critter or a little focal point there. So great, great idea to work with, not just in a kit, but with other stamps that you might have on hand. And then I got this beautiful card with, oh my gosh, this paper is so amazing, from my friend and teammate Tammy, and yeah, this lovely purple paper is just been capturing a lot of people's hearts, and unfortunately it's not available anymore. It was only one of the exclusives during Celebration, but I know some people stocked up on that paper, so and Tammy was enjoying using it for sure. Okay, and another birthday card here. This is from my friend Tamara. Oops. Oh, Tamara cut up some, when you get packages of designer paper, you get the white cardboard in with it to help keep the paper straight. She puts those pieces of, she cuts the pieces of cardboard into card-sized pieces, and then uses them so that the dots, these little embellishment dots, don't poke through the envelope and then fall off in the mail, because sometimes these dots are and especially ones like rhinestones, they're a little bit pokey, and then they rub against the other things in the mail, and sometimes they can rub right through the paper of the envelope. So I thought that was such a good tip, and such a pretty card with the flowers and the I was going to say the envelope, but yeah, I guess it's with the mail, and the flowers, the bouquet around it, and then she's used this die here. And you know what? I'm trying to remember if this die is in the next annual catalog. I love it so much. I sure hope it's continuing, because it's I'm trying to remember what the name of this is, and it's not coming to me right now, but I've got my catalog right here, and makes such a beautiful subtle background. Stitched greenery, that's what it is. Yeah. So, and one last card, and this is going to be the inspiration for today's card that I'm going to be making on the video, is this, I'm calling it a diamond card, and I've made these ones before. It's kind of got this little flip part to it, but then if you stand it up like this, tucking the point of the diamond here, it's an easel card as well. And now this one doesn't say happy birthday, it says happy Easter, and I got this from Elaine Breton. And yes, the Easter Bunny came to my house as well as some birthday cards that appeared in my mailbox. So thank you so much to all the people who sent cards, and Elaine for the Easter card. And yeah, I decided this is going to be my inspiration for tonight. Tomorrow, it's a big birthday here for my husband. He's going to be turning 60, but we're going to take supper over to his mom and dad's. His mom just had a birthday the other day too. In fact, her birthday is the same day as mine. And I want to make her a birthday card. And this card happens to be a little bit bigger than our regular medium-sized envelopes. It's more of a 6x6 card, so it's not going to fit in our regular envelopes. I'm going to have to make a special envelope for it, but I liked it because it's bigger, and I know that my mother-in-law's eyesight is maybe not the best, and B, it can stand up and perch like that, like the easel, and she'll be able to see it wherever they set it in the front room and enjoy it. So this is what we're going to work on tonight, and I'll share the measurements and how I'm going to go about coming up with my take on this diamond easel card. So, all right. First of all, my first discovery is that when you make this card, you actually need a piece of 12-inch long cardstock by 6-inch wide. And I'm like, ooh, that means I need like 12 by 12 cardstock. And I don't have a lot of colors in 12 by 12. But I went and rummaged through my 12 by 12 papers, and I found some Daffodil Delight. And that's very cheerful and happy. So I thought, okay, we'll start with that, because it does say here on the Hello Irresistible Designer paper that Daffodil Delight is one of the colors in here. So it's this yellow. I think they've toned it down a little bit, but it's definitely in this package of paper. And I picked out these pieces. This has got the yellow and the pink, and my mother-in-law, I know she really likes pink, and this is more of a flirty flamingo and maybe a petal pink where it's very light. And this side is really, really pretty too. It's just gorgeous flowers, but I think because I want my focal point to be a flower, I'm going to turn the paper over and use the B side, and then I'm going to stamp a flower with the two-tone Flora stamp set for the focal point for the card. And then I'm going to also have to find some greetings too, some birthday greetings. So we'll get started first of all with the 12 by 12 inch piece, and I'm going to cut it down to 12 by 6. So I'll find that 6-inch mark there and make sure I've got the right blade. Yep. And can stash that away, or I could make a second card right now, and then I'd have like 2 birthday cards. I'd be ahead of the game. Whoa. Okay, and now I'm going to be using the gray blade, which is the scoring blade, and I'll score that in half. So right now it's a fully squared off 6x6 card, and to create this card you need to cut a little bit off to make that diamond shape. And so I decided really what I could do is I could grab a pencil or a pen or something, and I could just find the midpoint of that. So if I line my card up at the 0 and at the 6-inch, the halfway point would be 3. And then I also grabbed my ruler, and then I measured out from the fold here to where Elaine would have cut it, and that's another 3 inches. So it's kind of nice. There's 3 inches that way and 3 inches, well, from either corner, because half of 6 is 3. So here, I'll use my ruler. It's probably a little bit easier than measuring it on the paper trimmer. Okay, and there we go. And I'm not sure if this is how Elaine did it, but I'm going to take and I'm going to cut through both layers of cardstock at the same time so that my points are very even and all lined up. This bottom layer is just tucked under a little bit, but that's okay. Okay, so I'm going to cut from this 3-inch mark here to this 3-inch mark, and just laying those little marks in the trough of my cutting trough there. Okay, so there's the one, and I got to do the same for the other side. There's the mark there, and lining it up, the cutting trough. There we go. So that's the basic part of the card base. And then I've got some scraps of yellow. Okay. Now, there's one more thing that I'm going to do with this while I've got it here, is I'm going to need to create you can see there's, just on the one side, there is a score line so that this will fold and the diamond part will pivot. So, and that's going to basically be straight down at the corners that I just marked with my pencil. So basically there's this triangle on the front that will be able to pivot like that. Now we're ready to cut the next layers. So Elaine's got 2 squares. There's a white cardstock square, 2 of them, and then it is 2 designer series paper squares. And so I'm pretty sure that the white cardstock is 4 1/4, but I'll double check on that I remembered. Yes. So, oops, I gotta reach over here. See if I can do this. How far will my arm stretch around the corner to grab my white paper? There it is. I got to remember to add some of this to my order tonight, with the free shipping being tomorrow. So, this is nice because I can just take and cut the paper at 4 1/4, and then can turn it this way, and it'll be exactly half is 4 1/4. This, it was 8 1/2 wide. So there are my 2 pieces of white. I've made a card similar to this, but it was a smaller size. It was a version that actually fit into our medium size envelopes. So making this size was a little bit new to me, but the process is pretty much the same. So yeah, I'm gonna have to see what I can come up with for an envelope. I might be able to pull out some of my pretty papers to create a designer paper envelope. So then the designer paper for the layers, the next layers, are just the 1/4 inch smaller. So these will be 4 by 4, and I'll need 2 of these to get my squares that I need. So I'm just going to cut both of these at the same time. The designer paper cuts really easily when you are cutting 2 at a time. Sometimes I think I can even maybe cut 3. The cardstock is maybe a little bit thicker to go through. Okay, and so that will layer on here, and then this will layer on here, and I should get my glue and probably start gluing that down. And then, yeah, then I will need to play around and find, pick out some colors to stamp the 2-tone flora and create a focal point for the card. So I think I can take the paper trimmer out of the way now and glue these pieces. Oh, by the way, Some of you may have seen that I've got a special going on, a promotion for April because it's my birthday. And if you place an order through me in April, that's $60 before taxes and shipping, you can pick out one of these free stamp sets. So there's a few choices here. There's the Adorable Owls, the Beautifully Happy, the Driving By, the Scenic Garden, Begin with a Dream, and Thanks a Bunch. So, yeah, give me a shout if you're placing an order and you're getting up to $60 in product. Because with most of these, I have multiples. I think I have at least 2 of every one of them. And some of them I have 3 or 4. So that's just a special just for the month of April here. Oh, these flowers are so pretty. I kind of hate to glue it down and cover them up. Yes, that's the problem with double-sided paper. You kind of feel like, oh, I'm not going to be able to see that other side. That's so beautiful. Okay, there we go. And I'm just taking a check to see if any questions have popped up. And no questions, but Roz had popped on from Florida. Hi, Roz. Have you been getting some warm weather down there? And how about the storms? I think there have been some storms in that more southern area, southeast area of the States. Hopefully it's been pretty good where you are. Seems like the weather's been crazy all over. When my husband and I landed in Toronto on Friday, it felt like we landed in a tropical country. They'd just had a couple of days where it reached like plus 30 degrees Celsius, which is like a hot summer day. That's just so crazy. And now, yeah, now we're here and it's like going to be a high of 0 tomorrow and snowing. Just kind of ridiculous, but okay. So now these can get glued on and can kind of just sort of see my pencil line there, but I'm going to cover that up and you won't see the pencil marks. And then, but good reminder to me here, I don't want to put glue up here because then it won't be able to pivot. So the glue can only go on the bottom part of this triangle here. So I'm glad I kind of laid that down and tested it out first before I just got happy with the glue. So, oops. There is the front piece. I'm a little bit off on my, there. Slide it up to get to the very, match up the points there. And then this one will go here. My point is a little bit flat there, but that's okay. And I'm thinking I might have to, well, just wondered if I maybe have to take off a bit of the tip of this square or diamond here, but I think it'll be pretty good. So, and this one I can glue the whole thing down, so I don't have to watch too carefully. This one's not going to pivot or move, it's just going to stay flat and be sort of a base. I still want to line up the edges here fairly nicely. Okay. So there we go. Got that working. Now, I'm going to have to look. I don't think I've got something right close by to use for my sentiments. I'm going to have to look through my stash and see what I can find and what I want to punch or cut it out with. But I can glue in this white piece here where I can write the rest of the birthday wishes. And so this piece would be 5 3/4 by 2 3/4. So I can grab that white cardstock that I had earlier. There's a bit left of that. And so I'll cut 2 3/4 by 5 3/4. And we'll test that out to make sure that I've got about the right. Yes, that should work well. Okay. Oh, I'm liking how very bright and cheery the yellow is. My mother-in-law is mostly at home. She's in a wheelchair and can't get out, so it's nice if I can come up with something that would be bright and cheerful for her. So yeah, I'm grateful to Elaine for the inspiration for this card. And I love how Elaine used one of these Fable Friends stamps. This little bunny is so sweet. He reminds me of Peter Rabbit or those other little characters. And I still have my stamp set with the Fable Friends because I like it so much. That's one that I'm going to hang on to. And I like to be able to use it when I can. Okay, so now I'm going to want some flower, at least one flower, maybe a couple, and some greenery to go onto the front of this card. So, oh, look at this. I've got a whole bunch of greenery that I stamped and cut by mistake, I think, because it was the wrong shade of green. And so look at that. I could already use some of these pieces that's a highly recommended trick with your embossing, or not your embossing, your dies. You can put your dies in one side of the case, and then the other side, any cuts that you make that you don't end up using, you can just stash them in there, and then there you go. You're ready to go with shapes whenever you need them. And I think I'm going to go with flamingo for my flower. And because this is a pretty big square, I'm going to use the biggest flower to start with. I may add in a smaller flower if I want to, but I'll start with the biggest piece, biggest flowers. So it's 2-step stamp. There's kind of an outline part and a fill-in part. And oh, look at this. I actually cleaned up my desk before I went on holidays, and all of my blocks are way over here. I don't know if you've ever seen this, but I got like one of these great big jars. I can't remember what they were from, but they were jars that my dad got from the farm, I think. Whatever they used to get in these jars back in the day. And so I just put my clear blocks in there. I should take a look at clear blocks in the new catalog. There may have been some changes in the pricing for those as well. Okay, so now I'm just grabbing scraps of my Whisper White or basic white and a foam mat to stamp on because these are photopolymer and the images will just be a little bit better. And I mentioned I want to use flamingo, so I'll grab my Flirty Flamingo ink pad. I'm going to do full strength for the outline of the flower, and then I'll do stamped off for the fill-in flower. So I'm just going to grab another scrap of paper here because I'm going to be needing to stamp off on that. So we'll see how this flower goes. Well, it might be nice to have some yellow flowers in there too. That's an option. Could really get like a full bouquet going here. So this is the outline. I'm going to do the outline first because it's going to be the full strength. And once I've stamped with the full strength of a Flirty Flamingo, it's easier when I'm looking through this one to see the darker color. Because if I stamp with the lighter color first, sometimes the lighter color, when you're looking through the block and the stamp, it doesn't show up. It's not as easy to see. So I like to start with the dark. That's my personal preference. It seems to work for me. And I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but in the video here, but there's little dot, 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 dot centers for the flowers, and those dot, 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 dots line up with the center dot, dot, dots in this one. So that's what I'm going to be looking for to line up the images. So I'm going to stamp off. This is called second generation stamping or stamping off. Let's see, I think I've got my dot dots mostly lined up. There we go. Oh, isn't that pretty? These two-toned flowers, two-toned flora flowers are very nice. And yeah, get a nice looking flower even with just one color of ink. So I'm going to set that there. Oh, that's going to pop really, really nicely on that paper. And just thinking, how close is my, oh yeah, I've got my baby boss not too far away, so that should work. I can cut that out in just a minute. Now I'm going to add a little bit more to this, just to create a little bit more interest to it. So, you know, I really liked this little bunch of flowers, and there's these cute centers. So it's this bunch, and these are the centers for it. And I think I could do these ones maybe in yellow. Oh, I'm going to need another block here. Here we go. 1, 2. Actually, I might be able to do the centers in pink and then the flowers in yellow. That would be fun. I'll stamp a couple of these. 1, 2, and then close this up so I'm not dipping into it. I'll grab my Daffodil Delight. And, well, first before I ink that up, I'm going to make sure I'm holding my stamp in just the right, yeah, those centers are going to line up, because I think if I do it the other way, no, the centers don't line up as well. So there is a way that they line up more evenly. Okay, so here's full strength daffodil, and then here's stamped off daffodil. Let's see which one I like better. Oh, stamped off daffodil is very, very light. I think the full strength will show up better. Yeah, so I might do one more of those with full strength. Guess I could have tried to just stamp over again with the yellow on top of this one, but I don't know if I would have lined it up very well. Who knows how close I would have come. There we go. So, some happy yellow and pink flowers. We'll close these guys up. And now I shall grab my baby boss. So I'm going to be needing 2 dies from here. So this one should cut out the biggest flower. Something like that. Yeah, there you go. Kind of have to move it around like a puzzle until it hits the right spot. And then this one should cut out the cluster of flowers. And again, you might have to, oh yeah, like that. And wow, look at this. I think I even have my Post-it note tape right here. Yay. So I can hold this in place and it won't move on me when I run it through the machine. If you don't have Post-it note tape, you can just use regular Post-it notes. Lots of people have sticky notes on hand. Nice thing about the sticky notes is that, or sticky notes and or the Post-it note tape, is that it won't cause too much of your paper to peel off. Okay, now I'll grab this machine. I don't know if you can tell, but I've got even some pieces of this Post-it note tape stuck right to the machine because it is, you can use it over and over again. Okay, and I'm going to be needing this platform for cutting. These other platforms are for other embossing folders. Just this white one is the die cutting one. And the nice thing about these is that it says right on them which one to use for which. And I'm going to put the scratchiest plate down, and that's the one that the blades are going to cut into. And what I always like to check is with the bottom plate is if it starts to hump up a little bit in the middle, then that means it's time to turn it and turn it around and use it the other way. And you can also turn it this way and that way too, and then it helps it to wear more evenly. Okay, so the little cluster of flowers. Ooh, that just fits. The other thing about using the machine is I always stagger the plates when I go to run them through. It makes it easier for the machine to grab onto it. It's not such a big sandwich bite if the plates are staggered a little. Okay, so there's one. And I can reuse this piece of tape again. Oh yeah, those are bright and cheerful. Okay. And almost done with the cutting here. I am thinking that maybe, perhaps, I might want one of these longer pieces of longer branches too. But I'll see. I'll arrange what I've got here first and then see if I'm feeling it needs a little bit more to be added. Okay. Oh, this is so nice not to have to fussy cut every little thing that we want to cut out. When I first started stamping, we didn't have a die cutting machine, so any of the flowers that we wanted cut out, we had to fussy cut them. And although it looked nice, it was just a lot of extra work. And okay, I did have some. Where did I hide those There they are. Some leaves. Might have to play with this for a bit and find the arrangement that I like best. There we go. It could be something like that. I'm almost thinking that it might be nice to have a layer of white underneath to add an extra pop to it all. That might make them show up a little bit better. Yeah, there's more contrast when there's a bit of white underneath the flowers, just that extra pop to it. There we go. I think I'm going to go like that. Yeah, and I don't necessarily have to have each side of the flower exactly the same. So I think it'll be a good variation if they're slightly different. So I'm going to pop this up with some dimensionals here. I always use like even the edges of my dimensional, so you can see this one's getting down to the end, the end of the pack or the end of the sheet. And then maybe I'll just take and put a little bit of glue here. This is scary for me. I'm just gluing these down and I don't even know exactly how they're going to work. It's okay. It's good to just go for it, right? Okay, so something like that. And this will go here. This is going to let me move it a little bit there. Oops. There. And then I could put a little bit of liquid glue, and I wonder if this needs to be up a little bit more. There. And then I'll tuck these two bits of leaves under here, and we'll go with that. Yeah. So I think the green that I used here was soft seafoam. It's been a couple of weeks, maybe even a month since I cut these out, so I can't remember exactly, but it's pretty light. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's soft seafoam that I used here. There we go. And then that will go here. And to finish off, need some words. And I wasn't sure if I had some words handy here or not, but I think, yeah, I do. So when Stampin' Up! Created this two-tone flora stamp set, they featured it with the something fancy words. And I'm pretty sure that there is a birthday. Yeah, happy birthday. Well, I could almost use this because it is belated birthday card that she's getting. But it's not just from me, it's from our whole family, so that I didn't forget part would be we didn't forget your birthday. We're just stretching out the celebration. And yeah, I think just the happy birthday here would probably work the best, unless there's something in one of these stamp sets that might work better. I'll just take another look here. this Peaceful Moments sure has gotten used a lot. Happy birthday, wishing you every happiness this special day will bring. That's kind of nice too. And here's happy birthday. You're every bit of wonderful. I could do just for you and then maybe that's what I'll do. Could do just for you here and then happy birthday inside. I might like that. So this is the celebrating you. And I find it easier to look for my words this way where I can read them. Just for you. This gets used a lot because just for you can be for so many things. Just for you because you need to get better, just for you because it's your birthday, just for you because, yeah, all kinds of things. And going to just for you. We'll go about here. I'm going to go back to Elaine's card. How far back did she make hers? It's almost at the halfway mark, just a little bit forward of that. So, and she used a color. My original impression was to use white and stamp it with color. But to go back and use that color that the base is, I could do that. Totally could do that. Not this shape, but could take and cut a little bit of a there we go. Okay. Actually, I'm changing my mind now. What I could do is put some white on the yellow. I think I'm going to go with that. That will work nicely. Okay, so I don't have my cleaner nearby here. I think all of my stamp and chamois need to be not dried. They are dry. They're all dry and they need to be moistened up again. So I'm just going to change my stamps on the block. Okay. And we'll go back to the Flirty Flamingo. Oh, I hope I didn't, maybe taking off that little piece of white might have made it a little bit narrow there. Okay, we'll give this a try. Oh, not too bad. I'm going to turn it over and see if I can get it a little bit more centered. Let's see. There we go. And then this should be able to adhere onto that. My cutting seems a little off there. Doesn't seem very straight. Gets wider at one end. Wondering if I can fix that up or if that's going to just make things. Sometimes you think, oh, is it going to make it worse or is it going to make it better? Let's see. Yeah, it's a little bit off. There we go. Oops, that would be taking too much. Is there going to be room to see some yellow there? Oh, just barely. Okay, I could take a little bit of the white off the top. There's still room to, because it's a little bit wider there. There we go. Well, I want to make it look nice. It is for my mother-in-law, so I want it to look special. Ooh, okay. Ooh, that just took just a sliver. That was lucky. Okay, I think that's got it now. Almost done. Oh no! Heck! Getting glue all over the place. Thankfully, I happen to have an adhesive remover that my friend Robin found at the dollar store. Except that the adhesive remover probably works better once the glue is dried a little. So I think when it's wet, it just smears it around. So give that a second. But I can snip off the ends. And the other thing I need to remember to do is to put dimensionals on the back of this, because I want it to be popped up so that it'll catch that corner of the diamond and hold it in place. So go back to the dimensional sheet. That's almost done. Put a couple of those on. There we go. In case you're wondering what size the cardstock is, because I just kind of cut, but this will give you a general idea. It's about 2 inches wide and about a 1/2 inch tall. That's the white. And then the daffodil color would be like 1/8 of an inch bigger. Oh, look at this. This paper has diagonal lines on it, so that I am going to be able to line this up and put it on straight. Oh, I didn't even think about that when I picked this paper. How nice. I love it when there's guides there to help you glue things on straight. So there we go. Okay, and that's the diamond card. I'm going to go back in after and stamp the happy birthday here, and maybe put even a little flower in the corner there, because I don't know if you saw when Elaine did this for me, she has the happy Easter here, and then there's still room to write who it's from and who it's to. But this is the easel diagonal card, and took me a few extra minutes to get this all together tonight, because I was kind of working from scratch. I hadn't had anything pre-cut, but you got to see how it all went together. And yeah, it's not hard to do. You just have to find the center and then cut those chunks off to create the diamond points. And yeah, I think this will work really well to give to my mother-in-law for her birthday, and it'll be a cheery and happy card. So thanks so much to those who have stuck with me there. And Roz, you're saying it's been unseasonably hot. Wow, not very much rain, but then we had a crazy storms off and on for a few days. Oh, wow, hot already. Yeah. And us up here in Canada, well, we did have some warm days in there, and then it just turned bitterly cold again. So we're on the weather roller coaster is what I say. And it'd be nice if it could even out a bit and just be decent weather. So, but thanks so much, guys, for hopping on with me today. And if you have any questions, please be in touch. As I mentioned, I'm going to be placing an order for the free shipping just in another couple hours here, just after the clock turns to midnight. And if you were wanting to get in on the group shipping and you can pick up here in Moose Jaw, I could add something on for you. So have a great night, everyone. Oh, thanks, Sue. I'm glad you like the fun fold. It is a fun one. It's, yeah, and easy to do and just something a little different. We'll talk to you all again soon. Have a great week. Bye-bye.